Hi, can you please tell me what's your name and what you do?
Hi, my name is Maron Soueid. I'm a second-year master's student in the Sociology of Education at Teachers College, Columbia, and hope to do my PhD next year.
What do you want to do your PhD in?
I'd like to continue in the field of sociology, studying social demography.
So, let's talk about education for a second. How do you feel about that subject? Are you passionate about it? Do you think it's important for the younger generations to be talking about?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a very important institution, and in any country, in any society, it's basically the foundation of our future leaders, our future workforce, yeah.
So, you come from New Jersey and now you're studying in New York. What do you think about sort of education inequality in the city?
It's pretty stark. It's not. I don't think it's addressed as well as it can be. I mean, I think there are problems across the board, whether it's New Jersey or New York. Inequality is pretty rampant in the education system. But I think it's most concentrated in cities usually. You also have like a lot of you have much more mixing in cities. I think more than you would get in suburbs, like from where I'm from in New Jersey. So it's kind of a double-edged sword.
And you might know this statistic because you're studying in this field, but 45% of New Yorkers live at or around the poverty line, right? Which means that a lot of kids are probably going hungry, or they might not have a stable home environment. How do you think those issues affect getting a good education?
They definitely do. Education is based on where you. Getting a good public education usually is based on your locality, where you exist on the map of a city or a town. And if you kind of happen to live in an area that is disadvantaged, then you're likely to be just as economically disadvantaged. You're less likely to get a quality education as well. The less tax money that goes into building good public schools, the less likely that school is to succeed. Also, the less likely those students are to succeed. So I think they're very interconnected.
And whose responsibility do you think it is to try and fix that problem? Are they doing enough to fix that problem?
That's a complex question. Obviously, public education is something that's administered by local governments, right? The state government definitely has a responsibility. It's also something that we're just starting to get into the free market, the private enterprises heavily getting into providing educational opportunities. I think it's a very complex question that doesn't have like a singular answer.
Sure. And can you tell me what other issues of social inequality matter to you? Is there any area that you feel particularly passionate about?
Housing. I'm very interested in housing, housing discrimination, housing inequality. It's definitely the basis of I think all kinds of economic and racial and social inequalities. So housing is an issue that we haven't thought much. Well, we've thought much about it, but we haven't really thought about productive solutions going into the 21st century. So. And
just one final question. It's very broad, but it'd be great to get your take on it. What does the idea of social justice mean to you?
I see social justice as part of the broader context of justice, which is that if there are people who are not people who are not like included in society, who are not who for some reason or another don't have the same economic or social opportunities that others have. I think social justice kind of encompasses this idea.